What's up, warrior? Welcome back to Daily Wisdom. And today I'm going to be addressing a problem that separates the difference of pros in business and why they get extraordinary results in sales versus the average and the amateur. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, share this. And you haven't subscribed and you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. I drop this plus a lot of other cool business tips to help you get better results as well. But I wonder, in your business or in your life, have you ever had a part where you tried communicating an idea with somebody and it sounded so good in your head, but then when you started to say it, it just did not come out the way you wanted it to? Put a one in the comments if that's ever happened to you before. That happens to me a lot of times in business. Let's say I'm trying to pitch something or I'm trying to convey an idea. It didn't exactly click that way. And in reality, it happens so much in relationships in life, especially my marriage. Many times there's things that I think is going to sound good, but it doesn't come out right. So the solution behind this is role playing. And I believe that, especially in today's generation where everything's digital, everything's fast, in business, a lot of things are scripted, right? We're in a day and age now where you get flooded with DMs all the time. You can have simple copy paste scripts. There's AI now, right? These are great technologies and things that are way better than before. But I also believe that in a time when there's a lot of automation, there's a lot of digital aspects, if you're willing to go back to the roots of what it takes to become a master in communication and business skills, you're going to be able to have an X factor in things. I'm curious, have you noticed that communication, while we're more connected than ever before, communication is less now? Especially if you see in the next generations, the younger generations, maybe you've seen this to happen. Everyone's on their phones now. We're kind of just texting each other. We don't even exactly know how to communicate with each other, right? Put a two in the comments if you notice that to be the case. So in our business, it's so essential that if you want to become a professional, get amazing results, and have mastery over things, that we do what we did back in the day, which is role playing. I'll share with you a story. When I got started in business, I was super shy. I had no business experience, no sales experience. I mean, I was so shy that I couldn't even order food at a restaurant. So when I finally got involved in business, I got involved in network marketing, I got involved in health and wellness, and I wanted to do well. And I was so scared because I needed to talk to people. Right? If you want to sell something, you got to talk to somebody. And that was already tough for me. So what I did was I went to the training and they told me what to do. The first thing I did was I just tried to just do it. And I realized, man, I'm not that good at trying to do what I just heard. So what I started to do was I would record myself and I would literally role play an example conversation. Let's say I'm trying to invite somebody to see my opportunity to see my product. I would talk into the voice recorder. And now we have voice memo apps. It's super, super simple to do. And I would just record myself. And to be honest, I didn't like it because it didn't sound good. I sounded horrible at the beginning. But if you're not willing to confront the brutal realities, if you're not willing to take a look at where your skills are actually at, they're never going to be better. So I would record myself, I would listen to it, and then I would shudder. Like, oh, no wonder why people aren't saying yes. And then I would tweak things. Then I would tweak things. I would tweak things. I would also go to my mentors or my colleagues and I'd practice on them, right? So one is practicing with yourself, being your own best critic, but another is practicing with others. Colleagues is great. So I'd practice with my partners, I'd practice with my teammates, and we go back and forth and we'd role play different scenarios and they'd add their 2 cents. And the final place that I think a lot of people avoid, but it is the most powerful way to really mastery and skill sets fast, is go to a mentor and go to a coach. and I'd role play. I remember when I was mastering my skill set of invitation, of setting up an appointment. And I was so frustrated with my skill sets because no one was saying yes to me. Does anyone else hate being told no to? Put a me in the comments if you hate being told no to. So I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So one day, I still remember it clearly. I was washing my car and I went to my mentor who I knew had the skills that I wanted. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I submitted myself to a test. And I told my mentor, can I just test this with you? Like, I'm just going to call you. You be the prospect. I'm just going to talk to you, right? I was so scared because I respected this person. I valued his critique. I didn't want to be told I was bad. I didn't want to fail the test. But if you want to be great, don't you know you're going to have to be tested? Better to be tested by those that have invested interest in you doing well rather than your prospect. I wanted to know. So I worked up the courage. I practiced beforehand and I called him up. I'm like, ring, ring. Oh my gosh. He was a pretend prospect. I went through this whole invitation. And at the end of it, he said, James, I give you an A minus. I'm like, oh man, well, it means I have places to improve. But I passed. And guess what? After that happened, my business picked up. My sales picked up. My confidence picked up. But it's so important. The only way that I would able to do that, it wasn't just by listening to a training over and over again. It was by practicing with myself, practicing with other teammates, practicing with a mentor, and then putting it into the field and then seeing how does the actual prospect respond. In a day and age where everything's digital, I think role playing is gone. I think people are too used to just copy paste scripts. I think people are just too honestly scared to have a real conversation. But if you're willing to do the uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable, if you're willing to actually chisel down and buckle down and go back to the old school and just get better with this, yes, scripts are important. Yes, things like AI are helpful. Yes, like copy paste is helpful. But what if we also had that mastery of how things work? Because if you master the baseline communication skills through repetition, through role playing, that understanding and awareness of why people think the way that they do and why people communicate the way that they do, that actually will help you become a better copywriter in your posts. That will help you become better with your marketing everywhere. That'll help you become a better leader because you understand why people think and do the things that they do. But it goes all the way back down to, are you willing to do the work to get better? So I just want to submit that to you today because nothing else can beat that type of skill training. Exactly. You'll never lose it once you master it. Abraham Lincoln was said, hey, if you were given 8 hours to chop down a tree, what would you do? He said the first 6 hours, I'd sharpen the axe. Last year, I'd chop down the tree. Are you sharpening your axe today? So if you're willing to take that in today, if you're willing to sharpen your skill sets, put a 1 in the comments below. And what are you going to do today to get better? How are you going to take it to the next level? Are you going to role play with yourself? Are you going to role play with a teammate? Are you going to role play with a mentor? Are you going to learn something new? Are you going to get it better? Are you going to put it into the field and then actually hear the responses? Because you can master it. You absolutely can. This is why professionals get paid what they do versus the amateur versus the average. They do this work that most people are not willing to do. So hopefully that was beneficial. If it was, definitely, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, by the way, subscribe because put this plus a lot of other practical, helpful wisdom and tips to help you in your business and your life. Share this video with somebody you feel that this can benefit as well. And other than that, we'll see you on the next ones. Warriors out.